Now we're going to go over how to find the x and y intercepts of a equation or graph. The first thing I want to do is just review quickly what an x and y intercept is. So looking at this coordinate plane that I drew, this is my x-axis and this is my y-axis. And I'm just going to go ahead and draw a line. Okay. So when we look at the line that I drew, where the line crosses the x-axis, that is the x-intercept. And what I know about the x-intercept is if I look at the ordered pair of that x-intercept, I know the x is going to be some x value and the y value is going to be 0. If I look at where the line crosses the y-axis, that's going to be my y-intercept. And if I look at the ordered pair of my y-intercept, I know my x value is going to be 0, and then I will have some y value. So to summarize, the x-intercept crosses the x-axis. The y value is always going to be 0. So the ordered pair is going to have a y value of 0. For the y-intercept, it's going to cross the y-axis. The x value is going to be 0. So the ordered pair will always have an x value of 0 and then some y value. So let's look at a few examples together. Okay, so in my first example, find the x and y intercept of the equation 7x minus 2y equals 28. So I'm going to set this up and say I want to know what my x-intercept is and what my y-intercept is. Now using the notes from above, I know my x-intercept is when my y value is 0. So I'm going to set up those ordered pairs right now. I know my y value has to be 0. And for my y-intercept, I know my x value has to be 0. All right, to find my x-intercept, if my y value has to be 0, I'm going to come up to my equation and substitute 0 in for the y value. So that was my y value, substitute 0. And then I just have to solve for x. So 7x equals 2 times 0 is 0. So this is just 7x equals 28. Divide by 7, x equals 4. So my x-intercept is going to be at 4, 0. That answer is complete. My y-intercept, same process, except this time my x value is going to be 0. So using my equation, 7 times 0 minus 2y equals 28. 7 times 0 is 0. So I get negative 2y equals 28. Divide both sides by negative 2. X is negative 14. I'm sorry, y. Y is negative 14. So my y-intercept is at 0, negative 14. Let's do another one together. All right, so I want to find the x and y-intercepts of my line x plus 3y equals 9. Again, my x-intercept, I know that that is when y is 0. Y-intercept, I know that is when x is 0. Okay, x-intercept. Again, my y value is 0, so I come up to my equation, substitute 0 for y. 3 times 0 is 0, so I'm left with x is equal to 9. That makes my x-intercept 9, 0. Y-intercept, that is when the x value is 0. So I come to my equation, put 0 in for x. So 0 plus 3y equals 9. So 3y is equal to 9. Divide both sides by 3, and I get y is equal to 3. That makes my y-intercept 0, 3. Last example, we're going to look at an inequality or a boundary line. Same idea, x and y intercept. So my x-intercept is where this boundary line crosses the x-axis. That means my y value is 0. When you're dealing with an inequality and you're finding the x and y intercepts, we really just care about the boundary line. So for these examples, you can think of this inequality symbol as just being an equal sign because we're just focusing on that boundary line. All right, so I'm going to substitute 0 for y. Negative 2x plus 0 equals 6. So that gives me negative 2x equals 6. Divide both sides by negative 2. X equals negative 3. So my x-intercept is at negative 3, 0. My y-intercept, we know that is when x is 0. So using the boundary line, substitute 0 for x. So when I do that, negative 2 times 0 is 0, plus y equals 6. So we're done. Y equals 6. My y-intercept 0, 6.